Super 8 Shockwave. Co-hosts crack as England and South Africa deliver statements. The Super 8 stage of the 2026 ICC Men's T20 World Cup produced a seismic double upset that sent a clear message across the tournament. Home soil is no fortress, reputation is no shield, and pressure can turn advantage into illusion. Within hours, both co-hosts, Sri Lanka and India, were dismantled in emphatic fashion by England and South Africa respectively, in two performances that reshaped the psychological landscape of the competition. England silenced Sri Lanka. Jack's the game breaker. At Palakkale, Sri Lanka began with optimism. The surface looked playable, the crowd was roaring, and England's total of 146 for 9 appeared modest. But what unfolded was a masterclass in tactical suffocation. Phil Salt's 62 had earlier rescued England from a fragile start, but it was Will Jacks who seized the spotlight. Having already impressed with the bat earlier in the tournament, he delivered a spell of controlled off-spin that dismantled Sri Lanka's chase before it had time to breathe. His figures of 3 for 22 included 3 pivotal wickets that ripped out the middle order and exposed the host's nerves. Sri Lanka's reply never gathered momentum. Reduced to 34 for 5 in the power play, they spiraled into panic, miscues replacing calculation. Jofra Archer's hostility compounded the damage, and despite Dasan Shanaka's brief resistance, the hosts collapsed for 95 all out, a 51-run defeat that stunned their supporters into near silence. The loss extended Sri Lanka's bleak head-to-head record against England and, more importantly, exposed a worrying pattern. When pressure mounted, their decision-making unraveled. South Africa crushed India, champions dethroned for a night. If Sri Lanka's fall was clinical, India's was brutal. At Ahmedabad, the reigning champions and tournament favorites entered with a 12-match World Cup winning streak and a stadium brimming with expectation. Early signs suggested business as usual when Jasprit Bumrah's brilliance reduced South Africa to 20 for 3. But what followed was a counterattack of ruthless authority. David Miller, 63, and Dewald Brevis, 45, rebuilt with calculated aggression, punishing loose lengths and targeting India's change bowlers. Their partnership flipped momentum completely. By the time Tristan Stubbs added late acceleration, South Africa had surged to 187 for 7, a total that initially seemed merely competitive but soon proved devastating. India's chase collapsed almost immediately. Aiden Markram struck with the very first over. Marco Jansen removed another batter with his first ball, and the Proteas' attack tightened like a vice. Slower balls gripped, Yorkers dipped, and catches stuck. The Indian batting order, usually fearless, looked trapped between caution and desperation. Only Shivam Dube's 42 offered resistance before the innings folded for 111. The result: South Africa won by 76 runs, snapping India's streak and delivering one of the most emphatic statements of the tournament. The tactical lesson: conditions don't win matches, decisions do. Across both fixtures, a common thread emerged. The visiting sides assessed conditions faster. They adapted their bowling plans more intelligently. They showed composure when momentum shifted. England used spin early and often. South Africa mixed pace variations relentlessly. Both teams read surfaces better than the hosts, who supposedly knew them best. Home advantage, often romanticized in cricket folklore, proved fragile when confronted by superior execution. Psychological fallout for the co-hosts. These defeats carry consequences beyond points tables. For Sri Lanka, confidence dented. Qualification hopes complicated. Questions raised about temperament under pressure. For India, net run rate damaged. Aura of invincibility cracked. Opposition belief skyrocketed. The symbolism matters. When dominant teams fall heavily at home, rivals stop fearing them. And in tournament cricket, belief is currency. Statements from the victors. South Africa captain Aiden Markram summed up the mindset that defined both winning sides. We assessed conditions early and adapted. The partnership kept us in the game. Once we understood the pitch, we executed our plans. England's camp echoed the same theme: clarity, calmness, execution. The bigger tournament narrative. Within a single match day, the Super 8 stage transformed from predictable to volatile. 2 hosts beaten, 2 visiting teams surging, net run rates shifting, qualification scenarios tightening. Suddenly, the tournament feels wide open. The myth that familiar pitches guarantee control has been shattered. In modern T20 cricket, where analysis is deep, scouting is precise, and players travel leagues worldwide, local knowledge is no longer a monopoly. Final word. If this World Cup has taught anything so far, it is this: crowds can roar, conditions can help, history can intimidate, but none of them can bat, bowl, or field for you. England and South Africa didn't just win matches. They rewrote the mood of the tournament. And every remaining contender is now on notice.
To the fun like space and wide. Every heartbeat on the down drain. Every dream steps into sight.